Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again as well.
How are you doing?
I'm doing alright. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I just want to set the agenda for the session. We're going to do a little mood check, see how you're doing anxiety-wise. We're going to go over how you've been this week, what has happened, catch up a little bit there. And then we're going to discuss automatic thoughts, what those are, how we can identify and evaluate them using a thought record, okay?
Okay. Alright.
How does that sound?
That sounds okay.
Okay, great. So let's do a little mood check. How have you been anxiety-wise this week?
My anxiety has been pretty high this week.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 7, what would you say it's been on average?
Maybe around a 6.
A 6, okay.
I have been trying a breathing exercise, which has been helping a little bit. It helps me feel more grounded when I get into pretty stressful moments.
Well, I'm glad that's been able to help you a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about like what's been happening when you've been having anxiety?
I usually am just feeling very overwhelmed and stressed by school, and I start the pacing, and I start feeling my heart race, and that's usually the indication I know to maybe try the breathing exercise.
Okay. Well, I'm impressed that you're able to, notice when you need to do that breathing exercise. It's a great skill to have. We can continue to work on that. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on this week.
Last week, I started getting all of my school supplies together and everything that I needed for my dorm room, and I actually ended up moving in to my dorm. And this week classes started, and they've actually been pretty intensive, and I had my first quiz, and I got a 70 on it, and I heard a lot of my peers got a higher grade than me, and I honestly feel pretty worthless because I really tried to get a higher grade. I really studied for it, and I feel like I could have gotten a higher grade, so I feel pretty worthless.
Okay. So I'm hearing you had a really difficult week, and that grade was very discouraging, and you're feeling worthless because of it. Yeah. Okay. You received a 70, and it was on your first quiz entering college, and I wonder if that is not a reflection of your academic skill and how you are as a student. Okay, I remember going into college, and when I received my first grade on an essay, I was very surprised and shocked as well, and it took me a little bit of time to get used to how college worked and how things were graded. So I think that that's something that we can definitely evaluate. What do you think?
I think that would be pretty helpful.
Yeah. So what that is an automatic thought. Automatic thoughts are something that just pop into our head. We don't consciously try to make that thought happen. And everyone has automatic thoughts. So what we can do with automatic thoughts is identify them and evaluate them. And if they are something that, is actually false and isn't accurate, we can try to change that. Okay?
Okay.
Because automatic thoughts, they do affect our feelings and emotions, and ultimately our behaviors as well, which relates to the cognitive triangle. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this thought record worksheet, and we're going to look at how we can use that to evaluate the automatic thoughts that we're having. Alright. So the first column is the situation. So we're just going to write down what situation we had. So we're going to evaluate the I am worthless thought. So what situation caused that automatic thought?
Getting a second.
Okay. So we're just going to jot that down in the situation column. And then we're going to go to the next column here. And it's automatic thoughts. So we're going to write down the automatic thought we had. So the I am worthless, we're going to write that down. We're also going to write down anything that pops into our head, like image-wise, or any other thoughts that we had during that moment. And then we're going to write down how much we believe that thought.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to the third column here, which is the emotions. We're going to write down the exact emotions that we were feeling. So in that moment, what emotions were you feeling?
Pretty sad and discouraged.
Okay. So we're going to write down sad, and we're going to write down discouraged. And then we're going to rate that from 0 to 100%. So we're going to write down how intense we were feeling that emotion. So how intense were you feeling sad?
Probably like a 95%.
95. Okay. I'm going to write that down. And then for discouraged, what would you say for that?
Probably around a 95 as well.
Okay. And then we're going to go to column 4, which is the adaptive response question, or section rather. So we're going to write down if we think any cognitive distortions were made. Is there any that you can think of?
Maybe some catastrophizing, because I feel like I'm never gonna get a good grade.
Now, I think that's pretty accurate. I'm actually going to give you a list of cognitive distortions to look at for homework, and you can try to see if any other ones pop out that relate to the situation, because a lot of them do overlap. So I'll give that to you as well. And then what we're going to do is jump to the next section, which is just the outcome section. And what we do in the outcome section is we're going to write how much we believe the automatic thought now that we have evaluated and gone through these steps. And then we're going to write down the emotions that we feel now, and we're going to rate those emotions. And then we're going to write down what would be good to do. So what we could do to evaluate these further and to change these automatic thoughts. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. So I'm going to give that to you for homework, this worksheet. I'm going to have you do it when you're feeling an emotion very intensely related to an automatic thought, okay? And this is just in a way of evaluating it.
Okay.
So, how do you think this session went?
I think it went pretty
Okay.
well.
Is there anything that you feel uncomfortable with?
No.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable doing this thought record?
I could definitely try to do it.
Okay. I think that would be great. I think that it would give us something to look at next time, some footing to go on, and I think that it will allow us to see if the I am worthless thought is accurate or not. I can tell you that that's a pretty strong automatic thought. I have a feeling that we're going to find that it is inaccurate. I don't believe that you are worthless. I think that that one quiz does not define how you are as a student. And I think that we're going to come to find out that from using the thought record. So that's kind of the idea. But I want you to be 100% honest when you're filling it out. If you feel like you still feel worthless, you're going to write that down. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover before we part?
I think that's okay.
Okay. Alright, let me just write down your homework so I don't forget to go over it next time. So I think that we went over your mood, we went over what happened this week, We went over automatic thoughts and discussed how we can use a thought record to evaluate those automatic thoughts. And then we assigned some homework using the thought record, and I'm going to give you the cognitive distortion sheet as well.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. And this time next week works?
Yes, it does.
Great. All right. Nice to see you.
Nice.